Hey guys, what's up? Shelly and the kids left this morning around 8:30 or so to head out to Kansas City to visit family for Christmas, pre-Christmas anyways. And so I'm just going to take my little mailers that I made yesterday and drop these in the mailbox, and we're headed off to an appointment at a car dealership before I have to sit down and have a couple of phone calls regarding some negotiations and some purchase agreements we're putting in and some more marketing efforts that are going to be completed today for some mailings we've been working on. This is my wife's car. You never see me drive this car. Primary reason for that is not that I don't like driving it. It's because I don't like getting in and out of it. It's a fun car to drive. It gets 30 miles to the gallon. My wife uses this for all her showings and listing appointments, but recently she had a semi truck or a dump truck or something launch like a baseball sized rock at the car. And so for her Christmas present, while she's gone, I'm taking this up to the dealership to get her a new windshield. This is a yep. Okay. Okay. So, once you're in, actually a really super fun car to drive. It's buckled up here. And don't worry, I'm not going to actually drive on the camera for long. Just want to show you guys the inside of this thing. Once you're in, it's super comfy. My wife always has things set to purple, all the ambient lights. I like to set it to green. And get our windshield wipers going there. Okay. This car has a couple modes. It has green mode, which is kind of a gas conservation mode. That's usually where we get our best gas mileage. It has a normal mode, and then it has a sport mode. Sport mode is really fast. I mean, it's not like race car fast, but it's a really light car, and it's got a turbo motor in it. So this thing will really get up from 0 to 60 in just like a few seconds. Like, it's pretty fast. So let's see if we can get out of here and show you guys a little strip of us taking off. All right, so it's raining, so we're not going to do anything super crazy out here. But this car, I mean, just jetting in and out of traffic, and you know, being able to just, wow, a lot of torque on this thing. So much fun to drive, and so easy to get in trouble in if you're not careful. I really love coming to this Mini Cooper dealership. They've got the coolest stuff. Check this car out here. Oh. Got dope offices. And then they have this super cool classic Mini. This thing is awesome, guys. All original interior. Super cool. Yeah, it's an awesome setup here. So they told me that it's going to take until Wednesday to get the windshield wiper replaced because they're kind of short-staffed due to the holidays. So they're going to give me a Clubman, which is the larger version of the Mini, as a loaner until Wednesday. And so I'm excited to see what the difference is between that larger version versus Shelly's sport version that she has. Okay, so like I said, the car is going to be in the shop until Wednesday, so they gave us a loaner. It looks like a Clubman, so it's not a sport version, so it's going to be a little slower, but this is one of the larger versions of the Mini Cooper. Has kind of a fatter back to it, a little more storage space, a little more headroom, and just a much wider, kind of more aggressive body, but not the sport version. But it's a loaner, so I don't plan on doing anything crazy in it anyways. Hey, what's up guys? I just got off of a successful negotiation call. We were submitting a purchase agreement for one of our clients, and I wanted to walk you through how we submit offers so that you can learn the correct way and the incorrect way to submit offers. Now, a lot of agents, they do what's called a blind offer. They literally get the documents signed by their buyers and they email them, maybe put a little, bit of text in there that says, hey, here's our offer. Let me know if you have questions. But generally speaking, most real estate agents, maybe not most, but a lot, submit blind offers. That's all they do. We try to always make a call or meet in person first, if possible. Meeting in person can sometimes be inconvenient for a lot of real estate brokers, so we don't really demand that. But we do always try to have a phone call first. And there's a couple of reasons for that. First of all, you want to get some insight into what it is that the seller is hoping for or expecting out of this whole transaction. Sometimes price is not the sticking point for them. Sometimes they might have other needs, such as they're selling a house, right? And or they're selling their house and they're buying another house, and they need possession in order to be able to get moved. And so finding out, like, okay, they need 2 weeks of possession, or they actually need to close sooner, or it would be great if they could close later. Like, getting information like that is going to help you craft an offer that has a much better chance of being accepted. So what I like to do before I have this phone call, I just email the agent. I say, hey, look, would you have a couple minutes to chat? We're writing on your property, okay? So they say, yeah, sure, call me at 10. What I like to do are a couple things. First of all, get prepared before the call. You want to make sure you have a printout of the house from the MLS, right? You want to make sure you have your purchase agreement in your hands. Something a lot of people don't do is print out the history of the property, so I can see when it was sold or when they attempted to sell it in the past and what the sales price was before. This particular property went under contract, and it was under contract for 20 days. Right? So that's a question I'm going to ask. They went under contract for 20 days, fill out a contract, and then they drop their price $5,000. So I want to have this information so I can ask those types of probing questions and say, hey, what went wrong before? Not only will that help me inform my buyer, but it'll help me assure them that that kind of issue won't happen with us. And then the other thing that I do, and I think this is really important, is I want to know what this agent does in business. So I print out everything they've done for the year, whether it's active listings, sold listings, expired listings, things that are pending. I want to look and see, okay, is this person doing a lot of business? Are they doing like a tremendous amount of business and they're a monster team, or are they just a really good agent? Like, this guy's just a really good agent. He's doing about 54 transactions a year, which is above average. And it looks like he has very few deals fall through. So I know that he's probably a solid agent. If I see somebody has 1 or 2 transactions, that is a concern for me. That person is probably not nearly as educated in real estate as we are, and that means that we have to take a different approach when we're negotiating with them. So I want to know about the agent, I want to know about the house we're putting an offer in on, and I want to make sure I have all this stuff prepared so that I can be ready to talk. Right off the bat, with this particular phone call, I asked them, hey, look, what happened with the house going under contract? And then coming back on the market. He explained what it was, and I kind of commiserated with him a little bit on that, and then we said, okay, great. So I'm going to be honest with you. Of the items that you just talked about, these are the ones that we will be asking for. There may be more if our inspector finds them, but we will at a minimum be asking for these items to be addressed. So make sure your seller knows that. Making sure I prepped him for the fact that we saw items that we were going to be asking to be repaired. That keeps us from putting in an offer, submitting earnest money, then paying $450 for an inspection, and then we get to the inspection response and the seller doesn't want to fix it. I already told this guy, for sure, expect this thing to happen, and that helps our odds considerably. I talked to him about the purchase price on when we're going in and we're going to ask for some extensive repairs, or if we're going to ask for a lot of closing costs. I will typically ask my buyer to offer full price. If the house doesn't appraise, that's the appraiser's job. If the house doesn't appraise, we'll deal with that later, but we're going to go in and try to build as much goodwill as possible. So hey, we're offering you full price. We want you to pay $3,000 in closing costs, and for sure we know we're going to be asking for these items that we saw, so please keep that in mind. And ultimately they accepted the offer. If you are just emailing this kind of stuff to people, there's a lot of back and forth, a lot of questions, no chance for you to build rapport, no chance for you to find out what the seller is really expecting or wanting. And so honestly, this is the best way. Get prepared, research the property, research the agent, and have a phone call with them. After the phone call, then submit your offer. All right, guys, so I've spent roughly, I'd guess, the last 5 hours researching the tax system to come up with about 60 mailings that I'm going to be sending out today. So that's what 60, more or less what 60 CMAs looks like. And I've got to get these things stapled. I've got to get them stuffed in these envelopes. The envelopes handwritten out. I don't use labels. I handwrite everything, and taped and stamped and ready to go out tomorrow, which is probably going to take me about 2 or 3 hours. I did invest in an electric stapler. For these last couple of years, I've just been using a hand stapler, but this thing looks like I might be able to double my workload just by having this electric stapler. So hopefully that will make things go by a little faster. All right, so I I got this electric stapler. It's the Speed Pro 45. They had a Speed Pro 25, but I was like, I'll get the bigger one just in case. And this thing is violent. Guys, listen to this thing. I mean, it is a lot faster, I'll give it that, but the first time I stuck something in there to get it stapled, it literally caused me to jump. Check this thing out.